Here's what's new in Playground for the first week of 2026. This week we did a lot of work on our CRM along with some pretty key billing updates and a lot of love throughout the rest of the product. Let's jump into it. First things first, this week we added the long-awaited ability to integrate your calendar with the CRM. So if you have a Google Calendar, an Outlook calendar, or an Apple Calendar, you can now sync that with the CRM. What this does is it prevents double bookings. So if you have your tour booking opening and you have a personal meeting on your Google Calendar, it will prevent families from being able to book a tour on that spot. Additionally, when families book a tour, it will automatically go onto your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar without you having to manually create it. So it's one less step for you to manage. It takes just a few seconds to set up. Let's take a look. In the CRM, I can jump over to my settings, go to connections, and under connected accounts, I'm able to add my Gmail or Outlook or Apple account in just a couple of seconds. Once you have this set up, you can just jump over to your availability, edit the availability, turn on booking and conflict syncing, and you can select which calendars to check for conflicts on, and it just does the rest of the magic for you. So when you jump into your meeting types, like on my tour booking link over here, I can go to my availability and I could see that for this meeting, any booked meeting will automatically appear on my calendars, and any conflicts I have in my calendar will automatically prevent families from booking time on that slot. This was a long-awaited one, so super excited to get your feedback on how it works out for you. We also now have the ability to track the expected annual amount per lead. So for folks that do reporting on your leads and how much expected revenue you'll be making, we have an ability to do that now. There's a field now on the child profile. When you click into a lead, you can just scroll down to the child and there's an expected annual tuition field, and you can just add in that number. So from the leads table or the board view, you can see the tuition amount associated with each child on that lead. Another thing we did this week is we added rich text editing to our simple emails on the CRM. So when you jump into an email, and we can just edit this existing one, I can highlight any part of it. We're happy. Maybe I want to bold this. And over here, call us to book your tour. Maybe right here, I want to actually link my actual tour link, and you could just link directly in here. And so all of that rich text editing can now happen directly in the simple email template. The last big update we made this week for our CRM was the automatic task creation before and after meetings are booked. Previously, when a meeting was booked, folks had to manually create a task to follow up or to do preparation. And now that can be done automatically as part of a booking workflow. So when I jump into my meetings and go into my edit mode on a meeting, under communication, I can go in here and under the pre-reminder and post-meeting follow-up, instead of just doing an SMS or an email follow-up, you can now create a task automatically. You can define when it will be due, whether it's before or after the meeting, who it's assigned to, what kind of action should be taken, whether it's an email, a call, a text, or just a to-do, and then you can add in information about it. This is really, really big, especially if you want to have a reminder in place for an hour before for your director to make sure that goodie bags are assembled and the front lobby looks clean. And then in addition, you might want to create a task 15 minutes or 2 hours after the tour concludes, reminding you to update your CRM and send a thank you email. This is a big step forward in completely automating the follow-up work and reminder work that goes into preparing for a really successful tour. This week, we also launched a billing setup redesign. So for our new programs, when you get set up on Playground for the first time, we have a brand new wizard that walks you through step-by-step how to set up billing on Playground for your program. This has made it significantly easier for folks to set things up on their own without needing support or additional help. Another big thing we did this week, when issuing refunds, admins can now choose whether a family should owe that same amount again or have that balance cleared. So what does this actually mean? When you refund a family, oftentimes you want to make sure that they still don't owe that money after the refund goes through for whatever reason. And so now there's a quick action when you refund a payment where you can select whether that family should still owe the amount that's being refunded, and the student's balance will increase by the amount that's being refunded, or they shouldn't owe that amount anymore, at which point you can add a credit description and even attach an accounting code or a GL code to it to make sure that it's properly reported on. Yet another small paper cut that we're fixing to make it even easier to run your day-to-day operations and issue refunds whenever they pop up. And the last notable update of the week is we launched custom posts that are only visible to staff, meaning families cannot see it. So what does this actually look like? On your feed, when you go into your post types and you edit a custom post type, we added a new setting down here called restrict visibility to staff only. And when this is selected, this post type now, when published into a feed, will only be visible for staff members, not for family members. So if there are ever times where you want to document something and have it live on a child's feed, but you don't necessarily need or want families to see it, this is what you want to do. That wraps up this week's changelog. There are a few other changes and improvements that were made, so I urge you to check it out on our website at tryplayground.com/changelog, and we'll see you next week for another batch of updates.